If you're building a startup, you are probably obsessed with your product. And that's great. But what if I told you that's only half the battle? Today, we're going to break down the core ideas from the book Traction and get into how startups solve their single biggest problem, actually getting customers. This quote right here from the legendary investor Mark Andreessen just nails a critical flaw in how a lot of startups think. So many founders fall for that "if you build it, they will come" trap. But the reality? A great product is never enough. In fact, focusing only on the product, well, that can be the very thing that sinks you.
And this really illustrates a simple, kind of brutal fact. Almost every single startup that fails has a product. You know what they don't have? Customers. The real killer, the thing that stops most new companies dead in their tracks, is a failure to get traction.
So let's be super clear about what traction even means. It's not just hype, it's not buzz, it's the hard, cold, quantitative evidence that people actually want the thing you're building. It's that beautiful growth curve going up and to the right. You know the one. It's the undeniable proof that your company is really taking off.
So how do you get that traction? The authors of the book propose this really radical mindset shift, and honestly, you can boil it all down to this one single number: 50%.
And that brings us to what they call the 50% rule. The core idea is simple. You have to split your time and your resources equally between building your product and working to get customers. And not after you launch. No. You do it in parallel, right from day one. It's a total game changer because it forces you to think about how you're going to reach people from the very beginning. You know, a great way to think about this is the leaky bucket analogy. Early on, your product is going to have holes. It's just not perfect yet. So if you pour a bunch of customers in, yeah, a lot of them are going to leak out. But that's not a waste. Those early efforts to get traction show you exactly where the biggest leaks are, so you know exactly what you need to fix first. And look at how this plays out in the real world. By testing out traction channels early, Dropbox realized search engine marketing was going to cost them $230 to get a customer for a $99 product. I mean, that's a losing game. So they pivoted. They built their famous viral referral loop right into the product. And then you've got Marketo, who used content marketing to build an audience, which gave them a pipeline of 14,000 interested buyers on launch day. Incredible. Okay, so you're on board. The 50% rule makes sense. But now you're facing a brand new problem. The authors identified 19, yes, 19, distinct channels for getting traction. Where on earth do you even start? Just get ready, because the list is long. You've got options like targeting blogs, getting publicity, doing some unconventional PR. Then there's search engine marketing, social and display ads, even old school offline ads. But we're not stopping there. You could also focus on SEO, content marketing, email marketing, or pray for some viral magic. You could even use engineering as a marketing tool or go deep on business development. And we're still not done. There's also traditional sales, affiliate programs, leveraging existing platforms, going to trade shows, hosting offline events, getting speaking gigs, and building a community. Feeling a little overwhelmed? You probably should be, because trying to do a little bit of everything is a guaranteed way to fail at everything.
So, how do you deal with all this chaos? Well, the investor Peter Thiel gives us the answer. You don't need to master all 19. That's actually a terrible idea. Your whole goal is to find the one optimal channel for your business. As he says, if you can get even a single distribution channel to work, you have a great business.
And to find that one channel without just wasting all your time and money, the authors created a simple but really effective framework. They call it Bullseye. Here's how it works. It's a simple 3-step process. First up is the outer ring. This is where you just brainstorm everything possible for all 19 channels. This helps you fight your own biases. Second, you move to the middle ring. Here you pick your most promising 3 to 5 ideas and run cheap, fast tests to get real data. And finally, you get to the inner ring. You identify the single channel that gave you the best results, and you focus all your energy right there. That's the bullseye. Now, this isn't just theory. Let's look at how it actually worked in the real world with a classic example, the personal finance site Mint.com. So for their middle ring, Mint ran a bunch of cheap tests. They tried Google Ads, but conversions were pretty low. They reached out to huge names like Suze Orman and got crickets. No response. But then they tested smaller niche financial blogs and sponsored a few newsletters. And boom, The results were fantastic. High conversions, tons of signups, all for really low cost.
They had found their bullseye. By focusing relentlessly on that one channel, targeting blogs, Mint managed to get an incredible 40,000 users signed up before the product was even live. I mean, that's the power of focus right there. So how do you actually do this? Well, it all starts with that 50% rule. Work on your product and getting customers in parallel, right from the start. Then use the Bullseye framework to brainstorm widely so you can fight your own biases. After that, run cheap, simple tests to see what actually works. And once you find that one core channel, you focus on it with everything you've got.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. We all have our biases, right? We lean towards the channels we're comfortable with. But as the book points out, your biggest opportunity often lies in the channels that everyone else, and that includes you, is ignoring. So what's the one you're going to test next?